Preheat oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Remove overwrap. Cover bowl with foil. Okay, that's the foil problem again. Do I have to look for another piece of foil? What do you think of this piece of foil right here? It's been sitting on top of the refrigerator underneath this, I don't know what you call that, for I don't know how long. Do you want to put this over food? It's a piece of foil, right? That look like foil to everyone. Yeah, but it's not on its original roll, like a Reynolds wrap roll or some generic. So what do you think of them selling generic aluminum foil and we don't have all the Reynolds wrap deceased? I think that this piece of foil doesn't afford to be sold because it's been kept this way. Charles Toe is the one who was keeping the foil before I don't see him here anymore since the middle of April of this year. It's now August. So that's what's up there. I don't use that foil because it's not clean for food. It's up there because it's not mine. I'm not keeping it or throwing it away. I don't have a home. This is not my apartment. This is somebody's problem from many years ago when I don't have a place to live because you don't offer me a place to live as God and that you will go to jail because you had to pay out a key and you don't create the building or a house. That's all you have to do. And you have a very, very heavy load of karma because you want to be as important as I am and alive of myself, the soul of the superior founder, deceased and appearing here. I am myself here in the formed world of alive because I alive. And you want to be exactly one to one, as important as I am myself. And you just don't ever pay for that. You are an illegal alive who is due in a jail and a prison, and I don't really want your key. It's not yours once you're in jail and prison, and you're due for a death penalty in there, and you should face it like a man. And if you're a female, you should be an excellent demonstration of what a female is, of a castration of a male. You would have to argue that you are what a male should be, for all that a male is inadequate with an illegal genital penis. And you don't actually want anything but to talk about the soul's food supply. And I don't really eat as much as you talk about the food. I'm gonna die because you ever saw there was food in public. I don't want to be a feeder of the food supply. I have to say that, like I qualify my statement, I am not a feeder. But then there's all this food consumption going on, and at this time it's disclosed that I'm aliving the food supply in public, which makes it look like I'm a feeder, and I'm not because I didn't inform you. You're formed by Jesus, and I'm not a feeder of what you are in alive. It would be like if Jesus was trying to feed you, but he can't because he doesn't have himself in alive, and I can't feed you because I need myself deceased. I'm not here for that I like you and I want to give you something that I need for myself. I need the whole public food supply deceased for myself. And I don't want to give you anything I need for myself. I don't want to give you anything out of the public food supply that I need for myself deceased. It doesn't all go in my one food mouth. It's all in the public food supply because I need to decease the formed world. And you still want to worry about whether or not I have something to eat for dinner tonight, which is this broken pot pie is due in the dumpster. And so here's some leaked gravy right here. And it was frozen in there when I open it. If it had a plastic wrapping, that might be a step better, but it's still to be thrown out because it's broken and leaking. And then this is something else I could replace it with, but I don't have the foil. So this goes in the dumpster as well because I don't have the foil. Well, I don't want to throw it out because somebody gave it to me, and I need that they continue to give me food as long as I'm alive. Well, they're doing a jail so that you can be a payee in a jail, and you can get the food from the jail the food money from the jail to the supermarket, so the supermarket knows that they're receiving money from the jail and that they'll pay out the food to myself, and then they're supposed to stop selling food to the shunts. You're illegal alive shunts of human beings. You're descended out of human beings, and I call you human beings because that's where you came from, but you have a penis. A human being doesn't have a penis, and the female is a castration of a penis. A female elsewhere doesn't have a castration of a penis. It has castration of a dong genital or a penis. And you're not supposed to be elsewhere thinking about the public food supply. You're supposed to be in jails and prisons, and you died a long time ago, but you're still trying to compete with myself that you can eat and be happy as much as I am, and I'm alive here. There's really, who are you fooling? I know it's not me, because I'm about out of time here. I'm about to be deceased out of the threatening. Once I'm deceased out of the threatening, I don't have what it takes to alive this world anymore because I'm myself. And that means I'm going to reform the order because I am myself. I alive. But I don't have what it takes to alive for you, what you've been doing here. That means you're going someplace to descend. That's what's wrong with it. You have to ascend out of what you've been doing here, but you don't know all of what you did here. You've been skipping the threatening so that you don't know exactly what was the outcome of some of the offenses that you made. You didn't see it all happen all the way till it's finished and completion. So it's true that I will at some point have to see you descend out of where you are now because you have something like stolen property or stolen cars, including that as property, but you have something that's wrong with you that I can't help you with, which is what are you going to do about that you keep sticking me with other people's problems? Sticking me like you threaten me physically. You threaten my safety. You threaten my genitals, and my genitals are here because everybody who's alive has genitals. And if you were somebody who had genitals elsewhere, somebody else had genitals, you have genitalia or you have genitals alive in public. You talk to me like I'm alone with genitals. When I find you alone in the wrong, you want to get me all alone. And then you go back into public and get lost, and you don't make sense that way. I just want you to know when you terrorize me in the genitals, that will come back to bite you in your genitals somewhere because I alive your genitals. Everybody's genitals. If you don't like somebody else, that's true, I alive their genitals and yours. And that won't change. That's just you not liking yourself, that you are that way. I don't want to be treated like a shunt just because you don't know how to be one. It's true that you don't. You don't actually know how to live the low life form that you think that I wouldn't deserve if I really am myself, right? Well, dinner tonight looks like I have to go out to eat because I have to turn this into some restaurant and see that they won't give me anything for it. If I go to the nearest restaurant I might eat at, which would be Chick-fil-A, I could turn in this pot pie and tell them why I don't like it and why I can't bring it back to the stores because I didn't buy it myself. And then I have to give them this from Aimee's brand and tell them I don't like Aimee Goyette, I don't like Aimee Yanow, I don't like Aimee Garriga anymore, and I don't really need any more friends named Aimee. I don't want to eat any more of Aimee's food, and I can't use it because of the aluminum foil requirement. And I don't want Chick-fil-A to say, oh, would you like a piece of aluminum foil? And then I can take this home and do this with myself because you're so low now, you're not bonded with Chick-fil-A anymore. I don't trust you that you wouldn't offer me a piece of aluminum foil from Chick-fil-A for what it says here, coverable with foil and place on a baking sheet. So that's what's wrong with that. I don't have a plan right now. This goes into here, but I would really eat it because I love Marie Callender. But that's true that they don't afford to feed me as much as they have been feeding me. And that's true that they don't afford this problem right here. I don't know what to do. I don't have a threat this way because I'm due elsewhere. I'm not doing this key. I'm not due to eat frozen food. I'm not due to wear a robe because I've been wearing a robe as God. That means I'm due out of the door locking, deceased by now, but somebody extended my life. I'm also not due to run utilities because I have that paid for, that it's sealed up over here. That means I don't need to run utilities because it's sealed up here and I'm deceased out of here. I'm deceased out of here. I don't actually need you. Yep. Are you watching my videos? Are you amused? I don't need to be here. I have my life all ordered deceased. Somebody is extending my life and shunning. Yep, you're shunning. I'm reporting it right now. Mitch Monster of Moser, he's shunning right now. And I don't have time for that. He's shunning. Because that's how I ended up in this problem in the first place, which is Donna shunning. Donna, he would call Donna mom, and I would call her mom. But she's shunning. She's Donna that way. Who else knows she's shunning? There's a temple on Mequon Road called Chabad, and it's Orthodox temple, but they're all shunts in there. They're not really Orthodox alive very well. They're shunts around the knee surgeon, Dr. Theodore Ted Gertel. Or Ted Theodore Gertel. He's Dr. Gertel to me. And I think he's aware of that Donna and mom is shunning in the house. But he didn't say that to me because it's true. You can't speak of it. He's not wrong that way. You really can't speak of that there's somebody shunning who caused me to go into an Orthodox temple, and I'm not really Jewish. I am the Godhead. But I went in there because I was looking for things to do for myself deceased. That was in the year 1999-2000. And I'm still paying for the shunning that was going on in my house at that time. It wasn't myself shunning. I'm paying for it because I need to save myself. Then what? What are you going to do? After you've been caught shunning, what are you going to do in the afterlife? Are you going to explain yourself why you were shunning? That's God having to explain it to you why you were shunning. Well, how does that make you feel? Do you want to see God when you die and have him explain to you why you were shunning? Because you're not there. Your whole head's not there. You can't possibly know. The whole body's not there. The head's not there. It doesn't know. It doesn't understand. The head that's not there doesn't know and is not aware and does not understand why it's shunning. You'll find that out in the afterlife. And then what are you at that point? Because you don't really have genitals. You would find out that you were shunning and you don't have genitals that way. That's you. And then when you come out of shunning and you see somebody in alive, that's not fair because you don't have genitals in front of God and you're going in front of somebody human and you don't really have true genitals because you've been shunning, and you come back into alive and you see other people with genitals, and that's not really true. They can't really see you someplace because you were shunning, and you can't see them through with your genitals because when you see God when you die, you don't have genitals right there. He's going to tell you that you were shunning. And that's not fair to the rest of the public, that you are that problem. And Donna is that problem. She's my mom figure. She put me in a very low way because she's not holding alive because she's shunning. But I see her, when I see her, she does things that I think are illegal. And there's nothing I can say about it because she's illegal. Well, you're due in a prison if you're shunning. You know how to get yourself into a prison? I can't tell you that. I can't tell you how to go to jail and prison because you've been shunning. Even God, when he talks to you about shunning in the afterlife, you will not have genitals on. You don't have genitals in front of God when he discloses to you where you are shunning, when you are shunning, and why.